This episode of the podcast is brought to you by the UK's #1 coral selling website, prestigereef.co.uk and reefdork.etsy.com for all your 3D printed aquarium accessory needs. Hello everybody, welcome to the Prestige Reef Dork Show. Today we are going to be choosing the definitive five best soft corals in the hobby, the definitive 5 best LPS corals in the hobby, and the definitive 5 best SPS corals in the hobby. Now, when this felt like a good idea at the time, and then when I went to draw up the list, I was like, we could have done one each, one episode on each of these, because there's rounding it down. Best 5 LPS corals, rounding that down to 5. That's not easy, but yeah, no, we are where we are.
It is what it is, and I'm sure we'll upset plenty of people because there's only so many things that we can do.
I'm sure you. I don't know about you. We've got a list of 10 each, because then if we both say the same thing, we've got an alternate. I've got 14 on my list of LPS corals. How many have you got?
You have 14. You know, I have. Wait, am I supposed to have 15? I have 10.
10.
Oh yeah, I just did 10. Look, there could have been more than 10, but I did 10.
No, exactly. I could have had millions. But yeah, there we go. That's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to choose the 15 best corals, and that will then be a fact from here on. Next time someone says, "What's the best coral in the hobby?" you'll be like Duncan or whatever.
How are you feeling at the moment? You know, with regards to this sort of live stream, because you know, obviously, this is off the back of a crushing defeat last week. So. So I think it was like the problem. See, I debated whether I should say this, because what usually happens when I'm cocky and I say things like that, I then get crushed by the chat. But we're not voting on my cockiness. We're voting on whether my core is better than Alex's. So
bear that in mind when you're voting. And do you really want to vote for someone as smug as that? That's what you got to ask yourself. So.
No. To be fair, even after that, even I would vote for you, I think. So.
There you go. Yes, but good. That's what we're going to be doing today, and it's now August, right? 3rd of August. So the hobby is basically non-existent. Is that roughly or not? That's a slight exaggeration, but
I mean, it started to pick up. I would say the last couple of days. That might just be because it's payday. So all of a sudden, everyone goes, "Oh, it's payday, so let's go buy some coral." But I would say the last 3 days have seen significant increase in sales. So maybe the start of August is not too bad, but July definitely is. June and July are usually like not great. Can you believe it's August? Can you that? Yes, seems crazy how quick it's August.
It's true. I judge it by how busy shops are and how busy YouTube is, basically, because views roughly equates to what people are doing in the hobby, and its views are always down this time of year, and the shops are generally.
So when does it pick back up again? Do you notice?
September, October is when it starts to pick up, but really, the busiest times are December, January, February, March.
Isn't that funny?
YouTube.
Isn't it funny that the entirety of December, pretty much, I don't ship corals? So, the biggest month is the one that I can't sell coral in.
Yeah. But I think January, February, March is the busiest time of the year. I think there was a thread on Reef to Reef that I was watching recently that was talking about what time of year it's busy. And we've talked about this before, but in the UK, it does go flat in the summer because it rains all year and it's bloody miserable. And then the 3 days we have when it's nice weather, we're like, well, I'm not going to sit and play with my fish tank and go outside. So it's very different here, but there are certain places from the sounds of it, and I don't know if this is all across America, I'm sure it varies, but certain places in America where it's the same all year round, just because the weather's steady or more consistent anyway. So
well, Florida would be one of the biggest places for coral in America. That's where all the big shops are. Worldwide Corals, Top Shelf. There's a few other ones around here. Yeah. Sunny most of the time. Well, in comparison to here, it's sunny most of the time, I think.
Yeah.
How
I think that's fair to say.
How does it work over there then? Because surely, like, they must never have a good time. You see what I mean? Based on that logic.
Or all time is good time.
Yeah, but the reason it's not good is because it's sunny and people think they want to go outside, but then realize.
Yeah, but if it's hot every day, it's like, oh well, it's going to be hot tomorrow. Whereas here, it's going to be like it's 25 degrees. That is roasting. I need to go out before it goes back to 7 degrees tomorrow. So
you go out in 25 degrees. Are you mad? Like,
I know.
Well, higher than 22, and I'm like, and I start to burn.
Yeah, exactly. Bloody love a bit of the weather's too hot banter. Us Brits.
True.
I
was going to say, it'll come back to me in a second, but it was something about when. No, it's gone. We can discuss. We can keep going. I'll let you know.
I can hardly wait.
It's not like we're live or anything, is it?
No, exactly. But the good news is, so we hit the Prestige Reef Dork show as a podcast hit 100,000 plays on Spotify this week.
Okay.
Which you didn't care. I told you this before, and you just couldn't care less.
I was like, yeah, but is that? I don't know if that's good, if that's bad. I don't know if
See, this is the thing. You can't tell because, like on YouTube, any video shows you the number of views. On Spotify, it doesn't tell you. I thought they said that there was an update recently that shows you plays or downloads or whatever. But if that's the case, it's not for all podcasts, and it just doesn't show you. So I don't know what I'm sure there are. I couldn't tell you what the other top 5 podcasts are, or whatever. So I don't know how we compare. Yeah, I don't know, but that 100,000 that's a big number, and that's just good.
There you go.
So there you go.
If
I had a pound for every episode, I'd have been a very happy man.
Which you don't.
No, unfortunately, you can monetize Spotify, but it's not like YouTube. It's quite easy to get monetized relatively.
Get money off of, as you almost said then.
No. It's relatively easy to get monetized. Spotify, you've got to, there's no chance of this show getting monetized. I don't know how much money it would make anyway, but like YouTube is, you only need 1,000 subs and 80,000 watch hours, or I can't remember what it is now, but 20,000 and whatever, 4,000 watch hours.
That was something. So this was what. Remember, I said there was something I wanted to talk about a minute ago. I couldn't remember what it was, and we were talking about the weather and the seasonal aspect of it. And I wonder, you know, how there's quite a lot of shops struggle in this industry.
Yeah.
And I think that it's very easy to take your art if you don't continuously do your accounts to know exactly where you're at financially with the company. I think it's very easy to think that you're making money, only to realize that you're at the end of the year you haven't made what you thought. If you see what I mean, because let's say you forget the bad times where it's a bit quiet in the summer, and then all of a sudden all this money's coming in the winter, and then so you're going, oh yeah, I'm making loads of money. But if you're not like following it, that might just be filling the deficit from the. And I think the other thing that people fall into is that they keep buying stuff to put new stuff in the shop, not realizing that they're not actually making money at that time of the year. And I think that anyone I don't own a shop, so I can't say. But what I do is I am very, very hot on finances and the money side of it, and I have quite a lot of business experience. If ever anyone who's thinking about doing something, that's what they need to focus on, because there's a lot of people go into this going, oh yeah, I'm bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, thinking that they can be the next shop that does survive, only to realize that it's not as easy. And I think that's one of the things that people don't do often enough. So I'm not even sure why I said that, but I'm helping that one person who's listening who's thinking about it.
Oh, I've done it. Yeah. So when I first set up Etsy, I didn't really think about any of that at all, and then I started to think, actually, am I just pissing in the wind here? Or is I actually am I just costing myself money? And you can work it out there. And actually, Etsy rodgers you on fees.
It's like 14%, isn't it, or something?
It's higher than that. I think I worked out. It varies. It's really hard to get to put a figure on it, but it's about the average. I did at one point. I did like a 6-month audit, and it was about 23% over that 6-month period.
Wow!
And that's partly because I subsidize postage, so postage costs me like £1.20 or something.
Yeah,
but even then, it just rodgers you. But it's well worth doing. It's interesting because then you see what if you're making money or not. Actually, on new shops,
it might be well worth doing for you because you press a button and a printer prints out what you want within reason. If you see, but if you're selling handmade pottery, which has taken ages to make, if you see what I mean, and they're taking that much money, that's crazy.
I always wonder about aquascapes because some people make handmade aquascapes, don't they? The ones I buy from RR Aquascapes. I don't know if they're still going, but they cost. I can't remember how much they were. They were quite expensive, but they weren't like crazy money. They were probably fairly similar to what you would pay if you bought the rocks yourself. A little bit more, maybe like a 30% premium. I don't know, 50. I can't even remember what they are, but they weren't crazy money. They were reasonably priced, I thought. And that's your limit. This one person doing this. So it's not like you've got like 10 worker drones or whatever earning minimum wage. Like go. You got one person doing this and you're limited. So you can only make, I don't know, 5 a day. And if you make £5 profit on each of that, that's £25 a day is your maximum. So the companies who make those aquascapes, I always think that why aren't they? I'm surprised they're not really expensive because you're limiting yourself effectively, aren't you? Because you're never going to earn more than, I don't know, whatever it is. Because you can't make more than, you can't just say, I'm going to make 35 aquascapes today because I was in the day.
It's you're limited to your own labor, which is the same with lots and lots of jobs. But if you even some of like the battleships for fish tanks are quite expensive, I think. Like, for like
fresh
you know what I mean? I'm sure like some of them cost like hundreds of pounds. And I'm like,
really?
Who's buying these? So I've just added everyone to the list who bought one.
I had one in one of my freshwater tanks.
No, you didn't.
I can't remember if it was a battleship. There was some kind of ornament that had no place in a fish tank.
Not good. You have matured since then. Moved on. Yeah.
I'm now a smug saltwater person who looks down his nose at people who have battleships. So.
Well, I remember there was a tank once. I went to buy. It was a tank breakdown. I was actually buying fish from it at the time, which was pretty rare because I used to only buy corals. And they had a World War II plane crashed, a massive one. This was like a 7 or 8 foot tank, and it was a World War II plane. Like someone had made it in this tank. And I was
Reef tank. Saltwater.
Yeah, it was a saltwater tank. And I was like, but
I mean, it happens.
Like, each to their own. Do you know what Rachel would like?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Reefs do that. That's not like some people might say that's unnatural, but people sink ships to create reefs, don't they? So
True.
It's not my cup of tea, but yeah.
Do you know what Rachel would have? I mean, every time I go to the fish shop, she says the same thing. What's the one ornament that you think Rachel would have? In fact, you won't guess it, but you can just
Lego. I don't know.
No, it is a T-Rex skull. She just desperately wants to have a fish tank, a marine fish tank with a T-Rex skull in it.
Don't ever let her near a fish tank, Ryan.
each to their own. So
there you go.
I have to encourage her because obviously she's like getting involved. So and then I have to just wean her off the T-Rex skulls after that.
Yeah, indeed. But the more you get into the hobby, the more I think that there's a reason that people don't tend to have those sorts of things. Because even if that seems like a good idea at first, within a few weeks, you're like, there are some really cool things in this hobby. I want that.
Yeah. Would, out of interest, I heard this today, would Mrs. Reef Dork know the name of all the fish in your tank? Like not the actual chance. The fish names.
No.
Not like Dave.
No, not a chance. No.
Rachel was talking to we have a small child staying with us at the moment, but she was showing her the fish, and she knew the name of. I was listening in the background. She knew the name of every single one of them. I was shocked. Okay. So I feel like she's like trying to get an engagement ring. I think that's the route she's going down.
No, so like sometimes she might say like if I get a new coral, she'd be like, "Is it a Zoa?" Because she's heard certain words. All right, it's not a Zoa, it's a Trachea. Yeah. Oh, so no.
They're still trying.
Yeah.
I know she listens. So like,
I don't pay any interest in Lego. So
that's true.
So there we go, one ahead of me. Do you know what? So there's YouTube gets quiet this time of year, and as I was saying, and I feel like there are fewer people making regular content these days than there were 2 or 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, and lots of people who used to make videos regularly have wound it back a little bit, myself included. I just do one a fortnight now, you included, Aaron's Aquarium, various others, but Reef Bum kind of wound down as well. But there was a Reef Bum video this week, yeah, it was in the last couple of days. That mother effer can grow corals. I take it you didn't see it because you didn't watch anything on YouTube. No. Man, that I've so I've brought up a load of photos. I screenshotted them, and I've put them together before and after. It was basically a before and after video about his, just an update on his tank, like a 11-month update on his aqua tank. The growth he gets is just insane. So let me show you this. So this is the first one. All right, not bad going. All right, 11 months. Next one, same story again. I think that's a Garth bonsai or whatever. Again, same story. Another one, and you could do this all day long. Oh, the next one.
He basically could put small colonies in, and then fill a whole tank in 11 months. If you see what, and it would look like
in a year, yeah.
Mature
and to be
tank.
fair, exactly. I'm sure that tank's been running for a year before that, so it has its time to bed in or whatever. But
like the water box, like what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm like
exactly. You're 5 years of foundations, and you know it's doing something. But he never does anything crazy. The things he does that give him success are really a ton of flow, a ton of light, and a ton of effort, because he does monthly. There are a few things that he talked about in there: monthly ICP tests, and probably tweaking things, making sure his parameters are all nice and stable, all those sorts of things, keep it on top of everything. But man, it's the most recent Reef Bum video. It's well worth watching. It's the guy. There were every now and then I'd have 1 or 2 acros that would grow like that, but for the most part, half the speed of that, maybe even less. That just. And he's been doing, and this is like, he can set up a new tank tomorrow, do the same thing. It's not a one-off. But that video just caught my eye because the growth was just insane. And it's funny, relentless growth.
It's funny you should say that you feel like people aren't doing it as much as they used to. I think that that 2018 was almost like, I might be totally wrong, but then this is the only reason I pitch that is because that was Macna. So that's why I've got that specific date. It was almost like, it's like everyone was at their peak at that moment, if you see what I mean, where they're all putting loads of effort in, and then people had kids and they had started businesses, and and like I think most of us were like roughly around the same age. I would say like I'm thinking about me and Moki and
inappropriately for Michael Aarons.
So and I just think that like maybe there is this new like set of reefers at the moment that are sort of like slightly under the radar, that haven't like fully like progressed yet. But no, I know what you mean. A lot of the bigger people don't do it, and I think
there's probably lots that I don't know. There's probably lots of channels that are on a few thousand subscribers or whatever that I don't know about, that I just, because I tend to watch the same things. I started I just had a look. My first video was September 2017.
Yeah.
So I wasn't part of that. I was tiny at that point. But 2020, COVID was boom times for me and for most people. And that was at a time when there were lots of people uploading regularly, and BRS was always smashing out the park. Whereas they've changed now because Ryan's not there, and now you've got Serious Reefs, of course. But it's not the same as it was. And like you say, like people have got families and all these sorts of things, other priorities.
You have to let something go. You have to let something go. And unfortunately, YouTube for most people is a hobby. It's like a fun thing to do with your spare time. Yeah. As soon as you don't have any spare time anymore, you don't get to do any. And it's as simple as that. So I think that's probably what it is. Also, I'm not sure. Do you think the hobby's actually progressed a huge amount in that time? There seems to be lots and lots of progression. And then I would say in the last like 3 years, like no progression.
When you say progression, what do you mean? Like knowledge and understanding, or
there was loads of new equipment and the reef maps were coming out and the reef bots were like, I know, like we know what they are, like what some of these automatic testing end up being, but at the time it was like you could dream because no one had done it. So you're like, one thing that could test everything, like that would be life changing. So you and algae scrubbers was when they were invented around that. I don't say that was when, but you know what I mean, like with the Paxellum ones, and we were starting to learn lots and lots of new things. I think even ICP tests weren't even massive. Like there's a lot more ICP tests now than there was then.
There's less innovation now, but in terms of knowledge, I think the knowledge hasn't progressed massively, but it's just become easier to gain that knowledge.
Yes,
so
yeah, I agree with
actually the way the reef bum is not doing things today that didn't exist 20 years ago, or he probably is doing some things, but the growth he's getting is because he doses calquasa, he has a ton of flow, he does ICP tests, he looks after trace elements, he does all the important things that people were probably doing 10, 15 years ago. But the difference is, like, if you wound back the clock 20 years ago, people with tanks like that are much fewer and farther between. Whereas now there are loads more because it's easier to understand that. You've still got to work hard and, you know, put in the effort, but it's easier to do something like that than it was before because there's so much more knowledge available. It's not just in books or whatever. I keep meaning to go through. people always talk about books. I've got the Conscientious Marine Aquarist, which I've not read for a long time.
It's definitely
I keep meaning to flick through it and pull out the things that are hilarious, that are really out of date. Because there are things in there that are. But
it's a shame because that was one of the best books. I've read it a few times actually. I don't really read at all, and I've read that book I think maybe 2 or 3 times because I just enjoy it so much. There was also another book on breeding fish I've read a few times as well. But other than those 2 books and the Harry Potter books and the Jurassic Park books, I've never read a single book in my life other than those ones.
Harry Potter and Jurassic Park. Okay.
Yeah, the Jurassic Park books are actually pretty good. I quite enjoyed those.
Okay.
But I don't not a movie fan. Actually, I do like the Jurassic Park movies, but yeah, I think that I still have the very, 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 very first book that I got 18 years ago, and you look in it now, and it's like under gravel filters and just the most utter nonsense. You can only keep there's like it says about yellow tangs. Never put this fish with another tang because they will kill each other, which is technically true, but also not true. Like, as in it has the ability for that to happen, but there's far more success now, probably, if you see what I mean, than it says in the book. Like protein skimmers didn't have cones; they were like weird shapes and everything, like boxes.
But I think so there's definitely less innovation now than there was. But I don't know. It's just there's only so far the hobby can go, I guess, because it's the fundamentals are all that really matter.
I know people are moving into like the bacterial side, but the problem is
that's true.
But there's not enough. Like, every time you type it types as me, doesn't it? I just realized.
Oh, I see.
I'm like, I didn't write that. There's not enough knowledge with regards. So with alkalinity, if you have a test for alkalinity, alkalinity is low, then you do this, and it has this effect. With bacteria,
a million people have done that a million times.
Yeah, you might be you have this bacteria is missing. Like, do I need it? Do I add it? Do I not add it? Like,
I can't go and buy it in a shop, in a bottle.
I add this bacteria, will it outcompete this bacteria, which is what's keeping the tank stable at the time. So it's one of those things where. So
that's probably the area that there's the most potential to develop the hobby, because actually I think if we understood that, that's the sort of thing that you can imagine. Suddenly it would be like turning on a light, and suddenly you're like, oh wow, that's how this works. So I can well imagine that will become the next big thing, if you want to use that phrase. But at the moment, you're right. There's a few people who understand it, but even then, there aren't many people who apply it and can show you the results on all these sorts of things. So like for plebs like you and me, it's like I don't get it. So
and even if someone said to me, you can have a free like one of those tests, send off the back, and it'll come back and we don't even do it in this country. And I'll go, yeah, okay, go on then, send it off. It'll come back and it'll go, you have these 12 bacteria, and I'll go,
yeah,
that's
cool.
Like what do you want me to do with that?
Yeah, no. Well, that's the one thing actually, because I've got issues with my tank at the moment, and that's the one thing that I'm starting to wonder if it's something to do with that. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So for a start, I've gone through everything, all the obvious stuff that you should start with, and it's just and when I say issues, it's not like I've like half my corals are dying or whatever. It's just there's a few that are dying. So it might just be that this is just reef life. I don't think it is, but there's something wrong.
Are you running the tank?
24 degrees.
What happens if those corals like 25 degrees? It could be something. I mean, it could literally be something as simple as that. Because like most people don't run. I wouldn't say most people run their tank at 24 degrees. Mine's 25.5. So
true. It's not impossible that I could turn it to 25 and suddenly all my problems go away. I'd be surprised.
I know, but like corals come from different environments, and I think 24 is quite low. I know you do it because it's a mainly LPS tank, but you might just happen to have a Goni or whatever, which comes from a warmer climate, which hasn't been able to acclimate itself to 24 degrees.
1 degree difference. Anyway, you could be right. I don't know, but I did a par test this weekend because I just thought maybe I did a par test when I set up. I thought, well, maybe I've got it too much. I'm getting too much light because too much light is a problem for LPS.
Yeah,
and it turns out it's basically 120 par almost everywhere in the tank, up and down a little bit, but it's really smooth. So there's not that. I've sent off another ICP. I'm waiting to get that back. But I've turned off my UV sterilizer. I've got 2 big UV sterilizers, and I've turned those off today because that's one thing that does on these bacteria tests that you can send off. The person, Dr. Eli, I think his name is, he says, as soon as I get the results, I can tell you whether you've got UV sterilizer or not. So it removes certain types of bacteria or whatever. And I just thought, you know what? I run that for my fish, but I don't think you need to run it 24/7. So if there's a problem, I'll put them on. Fine, no, of course. But I just figured, you know what? Let's just try that and let's see if that changes. Because I've got to the point where it's not salinity, it's not alkalinity, it's not calcium, it's not magnesium. I don't think it is all that. So there's nothing obvious. I've tried all the obvious things, and now I'm down into let's see if this helps. But
it's hard to say. As in, it's the same as with anything, unless I actually know the facts. If you saw it, if I came to your house, I mean, like, give me all your test kits or give me your ICP results, and I'll give me a par meter, and I could have a proper look. If you see what I mean, I might go, oh, maybe it could be this. Because when you look at your own tank all day, every day, you sometimes don't see the things that other people will see. But
come up and do that. I'll book you in.
Increase it by 1 degree and see if it makes any difference.
All right. Do you know what? 25 degrees. I'm going to write that down. I'm going to try that.
Look, the only reason I'm saying that is because that does seem quite low. I've never run a reef tank at 24. I don't know if other people do run it at
25. I've run tanks at
25.5 is what I run it as. But when you have a temperature swing, like if your tank goes up to like 27, that's a much bigger jump than if it goes from 25 to 26.5.
Yeah, I suppose so. That's never been a problem in the past.
Yeah.
And that's not so. My water box tank, the Frag 55.2, I ran that for a few years at 24.
And
it looked great. And the Cade, actually, annoyingly, I think the Cade's got Dinos at the moment, annoyingly. But the Cade has looked great at 24 degrees as well. I'd be amazed if it's that. I'll try it, but I'd be surprised.
It's just an idea that you haven't potentially thought of.
Yeah,
so,
this is very true.
And I'm not saying it is that. I'm just saying why not see if it could be that.
But those are the sorts of things that who knows, maybe it's this. But anyway, I think I've got Dinos in the cage. I've on my little experiment that I was trying. I'll spill the beans on that now.
Yeah,
I've stopped doing that because it wasn't that caused it.
Yeah,
but I think if anything, it's going to make it worse. So I was dosing amino acids. I started buying Coral Amino from Brightwell.
Yeah.
And I was dosing some of that, and that made on my acans and my trumpet coral made a noticeable difference. They were way puffier. But now I've got Dinos. I've had this smattering of light brown sort of stuff on the sand bed for a while now.
Yeah.
And it's got worse. It started before I was dosing amino, so that didn't kick it off. But it's got worse since then. That might be a coincidence, but I just figured just stop adding it because it's not going to do any good. But that did make a noticeable difference to a couple of my corals, but
to the dinoflagellants.
well, yeah, but to all of my other corals, it didn't really change anything. So, and I was taking, it was only I was doing it for like 2 weeks before I packed it in, but still, it was impressive how how big a difference it made on a couple of them. But I've had to knock that on the head for now because dinos. I just it might not be filming it, but I just want, when it's dinos, you just need to get rid of it. So
yeah, it's one of those things.
And I'm assuming it's dinos.
It's a pain in the ass to get rid of. I feel sorry for you. yeah.
Well,
I've had it before.
I have,
yeah.
It might not even be that, but I think it is. I need to send it to you with your microscope. No.
Well, next time you come down, bring a sample. We'll have a look.
Ooh, I need to bring that fluval tank back.
Oh yeah, whenever I watched the first 30 seconds of that video because I got a little shout out in it, didn't I? You did.
Yeah.
So that wasn't why I watched it. I think I started watching it to see what you said, and then I got distracted.
So actually, I recorded the intro. I recorded. You know what it's like. I recorded that like 10 times, saying, giving you a shout out, and I changed it every single time.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
Yeah, because I was like, oh, shout out to Ryan. He's just started up a coral auction website, and I was like, how long am I spending talking about this? Then I was like, well, should I say that I'm in commission from Ryan? Then I was like, well, no, isn't that obvious? And I was just like, do you know what? Thanks, Ryan, for lending me the tank.
Yeah.
Check out his website. That's it.
I wouldn't even said anything or cared if you had not said anything.
I know, exactly, yeah. But yeah, so which tank do you prefer, the TMC or the fluval?
I don't know because I didn't get past 30 seconds.
You could see they were both in that video for 30 seconds.
I know they were, but to be honest, I actually don't know. I think I might have been uploading auctions or something, and in the background I heard, oh yeah, someone just said Ryan gave a shout out to Reefing Lex Luthor. Did you notice that?
Notice that? Well, you've said that before.
No, but yeah, so Aqua post. I share all Aqua stuff. Every time they post on Instagram, I put it on my story. And I wrote something like, "Come meet the reef keeping Lex Luthor" or something.
I see. I
don't look at my stuff.
Stories? No, I don't. No.
And I didn't tag you in it. So, and then I thought I did that like 3 days ago or something. And I was like, I never heard from Alex about that. So I'm assuming you didn't see it.
No, I don't like Instagram, to be honest. I start scrolling through. I like looking for. There's some tanks there that I really like. I like looking at nice corals, but within 3 seconds, it's showing me road rage or like puppies or something. And I'm like, oh god, I don't care.
I like how you said we could have done a live stream on any one of these, and now we've wasted the first half an hour talking about nonsense.
I haven't wasted, and it's not wasted, Ryan. This is investing. But since you're so keen to.
Someone commented on the video that's obviously on my channel for the last live stream going, the first half of it is just nonsense. If you want to get to the good bit, it gets to here.
Every now and then. So obviously I get those comments all the time. Every now and then I'll get a comment like that. There was one I did a while ago. I can't remember if it was just you off or whatever, but I was like, you know what? I want to do a live stream. I'm going to do it now. So I started it and I called it Q&A session or something like that.
Yeah.
I was like, right. I haven't got a plan, but I thought we'll do a live stream. Ask me questions and I'll talk to you because we don't get to talk to the channels. So I went through and just answered everybody's questions, did it for an hour. And I got a comment afterwards saying, this was unprepared. You need to make sure you organize yourself better next time. You were just answering questions. Like, that was literally the point. That was the point of it. All right. Don't watch it if that's what you don't want to see. But anyway, since
people don't realize sometimes how close that we, and this might as well just be honest with people, how close that sometimes we go, we don't fancy this. It's true, isn't it? Like we had the conversation the other day going, we don't fancy it, and then we went, well, actually, we just like talking to each other on a Sunday. Might as well just might as well just let people watch it.
It wasn't. It wasn't from a don't fancy it. It's just it's the summer off basically is what I was talking about, having August off because it goes quiet and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it's just that's fine. I think, anyway, okay. Go on. No.
No, I can't remember what I was going to say now. It's gone. So
okay, we need to crack on because Ryan's getting impatient. He wants to.
Yeah, I want to get back to the winning.
I guess very competitive, doesn't he? So we're going to kick off with soft corals, Ryan. You can go first. What's your first soft coral?
Oh, so you want to go first this time because you've got a whole range.
I don't care what's going. No, there's no tactics. I don't care.
Okay, I'm going for not an electus. I'm going for a jaw breaker mushroom. Jawbreaker, Discus Viper, not an Electus, a true Jawbreaker. So they're often sold as the same coral. A true Jawbreaker is like orange, like vivid orange, and you can see it from across the room with red streaks in it. Whereas an Electus is more red and gold. In this country, the Electuses are far more common, but Jawbreakers, I would say, would be one of the best mushrooms you can get.
This one? What's a Jawbreaker?
It's hard. I would say that. So the ones that are really orange. So just below that picture, you see there's like an orange and red one. Yeah, that is definitely a Jawbreaker.
I mean, I'm not throwing shade, but there's some saturation gone into that, I'm sure. Maybe not actually. Cornbread colours, I don't know what they're like.
The plug looks pretty white for me.
It's true, but yeah. Anyway, you could
a lot whiter than some of the plugs you see. But
this is true.
There's a whole range of different Jawbreakers, like similar sort of ones. One of the things I absolutely love about them, though, is that they mature with age. So you can get one which has got like a couple of like red dots on it, like when they're like these little tiny, like insignificantly small. And then as they get bigger, that red can get more and more. So it ages like a fine wine. So that is what I'm going to go as my one of my favorite soft corals.
Okay. Well, so that was on my list as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bad boy up. So I'm going to go with the OG bounce mushroom, because I think that's the most appropriate coral to push this up against. So
you hate the OG bounce mushroom.
No, they are cool. They're just not really my cup of tea. Same for Jawbreakers. They're like 700 quid or something crazy, or 200.
Jawbreakers are cheaper. Yeah, they're like more 200-300 quid, I think.
Still, that's a lot of money for a mushroom. But to be fair, Jawbreakers and bounce mushrooms OG bounce mushrooms are pretty cool. They've got the bright colours are cool. So there we go. Let's start the poll.
They're an acquired taste, I think. But I think with both of those corals, when people see them in like the coral farm, they go, "That's a nice coral." So they're one of the ones that really, really fluoresce. But having said that,
that's true.
Jawbreakers will usually spread all over, like spread and then make you money, and OGs will occasionally just randomly die. So
yeah, okay. I was about to ask which is harder, the OG bounces
is like 100 times. But don't get me wrong, like OGs they're still mushrooms, and they're just redactus mushrooms. OGs, I would say the Jawbreakers are definitely hardier, but it's hard to be 100%. But what I do know for sure, the Jawbreakers will spread far quicker.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Yeah, look.
The only thing I'll say about Jawbreakers, not Jawbreakers, OG bounce that I don't like, when they've got all these bright yellow and green bits, cool.
Yeah.
But when they've only got like a couple, and 90% of the coral is this like boring bluey bit, it's like.
So the reason they don't have a lot, some of them, is because you literally cut these in half to frag them. They don't frag on so that's basically, that will be probably a quarter or a fifth of, you should see some of the people actually like frag them into like individual bubbles. So, but what usually does happen, given enough time, even one that's got one bubble on it will grow many more.
Okay.
They're one of the pieces that actually stood out at some of the shows. So it's interesting. Someone said a Jawbreaker for 100 versus a 2,300. You find me a 2,300? Oh, 2 to 300. Okay, yes. I was going to say I don't think they're that expensive. But yeah, I have OG on my list as well, but I'm not sure. I think if I was going to pick one of them, actually, I don't know. Which one would you pick out of interest?
Probably. Oh, I don't know. Probably, I don't know. I don't really know. I think
now that you've
the poll is finished.
I would definitely pick an OG.
Would you really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
As in, I have an OG which I keep, which is mine.
I think probably an OG, but I don't know. I'm not. Every time I see them, or the Jawbreakers as well, and they're cool, but I don't actually want. I never want it enough to buy it, either of them. So.
The OGs are like those expensive like LPS corals. You have one, like a Trachyphilia. You have one piece. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't populate or spread anywhere most of the time, and it will just get bigger and bigger. And sometimes it'll get to the size like the palm of your hand size. But yeah, so oh no, Brett bought the OG off the live stream. He said, "Oh, sometimes you say randomly die." Look, if you've had your one and it's doing fine, it'll be fine. But some people
didn't tell him that before you sold it, did you?
It was on the auction, so he won it on his own. But they are. I have known, not that like people that have had them where they have just randomly died. So, but Brett, you have to realize I'm trying to beat Alex, so I need to get people on my side.
What I think I'm going to do actually is, because I'm not trying to beat you. Okay, I'm just trying to. So the reason I chose OG Bounce Mushroom was because I think they are the most. If I don't want to put Pulsing Xenia up, because that means one of them loses out and they should be together. So actually, what's going to happen is you're going to go first on all of these. And I'm not going to cheat. No. I'm not going to try to choose something that beats you. I'm just going to try to choose the best comparator so we get the best result.
Okay, fine.
So what's your next one?
I'm going to go for an orange Florida Recordia.
Ooh.
These you don't see them very often anymore. I think because actually there was a massive issue.
What with Florida?
In Florida with the heat that killed most of them. But I remember, like, they were one of my. I actually don't even have any anymore. They were one of my most popular sellers when I first started the farm. If anyone has these, let me know, because I'm probably interested in them. But I sold. I'm not talking about the Recordia Yumas. I'm looking for the Florida ones. And the Florida ones are the ones see the top ones with that one. They have bigger bubbles, whereas the Yumas are more sort of have small, like a range of different size bubbles on them. That's a Yuma.
Yeah, not interested in that. No, the Ricks are nice.
But yeah, they are. That's what I'm going for then.
That's a nice one as well, actually. No, these you used to see these all the time. I only ever had one and it died.
I had a rock that was massive, covered in them, and like I think I originally bought that rock this was long to 12 years ago or something, for like £40, and now they're like 60 or 70 pounds a polyp, if you see what I mean, for one. So there's certain corals I love when I've made money from them, if you see what I mean. And I don't know what happened to the last one, but I usually always keep one of everything, and for some reason I don't have that anymore. So maybe it went off the tray and disappeared somewhere.
Fair enough. Well, let me just have a look and see. So I'm going to go for Green Star Polyp GSP.
Oh, I mean, it's a nice coral. Not sure, and I see why you've included it. I actually don't have that one on my list, but I think that we'll see what happens. I'll be interested.
Yeah, there's I think that's the closest I can have. That's a fair. I think GSP should be on this list. Recordias are nice, but I don't know if they're top 5. Nothing.
What? You think they're nice? They're definitely nicer than GSP. Firstly, most corals are green. Pick a nice orange one.
Yeah, but the GSP is the reason that GSP I think is on there is you can get it everywhere. There's one in my tank there. It's a really bright coral. People like bright corals. It's really easy to keep. It should be one of your first corals to buy, because it will grow easily. You can frag it easily. It's not expensive. It's like if you drop a list of the top 5 beginner corals and GSP isn't on it, you're doing something wrong.
Yeah, but we're not talking about beginner corals. We're talking about best corals. And let's put it this way: you've been in the hobby 10 years, and you only have one tank. You have one tank. Is it in your main tank?
No, because it'll spread.
Why not?
Well, actually, no. To be fair, it's not because it'll spread everywhere, because you can isolate it really easily. It's not like Xenia; it'll pop off everywhere. It's just because I just don't want it. But in that tank, brilliant. It just grows too fast. That's the problem. That's the downside of it, is it grows too fast. And if you put it too close to your main island, your main rockwork, it'll touch it, and then
the difference is green star polyps you usually have to like give away, whereas Recordias will make you money. So
but you can. I've sold one frag, but I have sold a frag of
for
GSP.
£10.
15,
Oh,
but I've got a few of them actually. I just can't be bothered to getting around to doing it. But I just think they're really bright. They're flowing. They move. Who doesn't like a bit of movement? That's the recorder hasn't got that.
Oh, sorry. I thought you were just describing Recordias because that's the same thing applies to those. They do. They have that same sort of like bubble swaying, like the
nothing.
Yeah, they
like
do.
The
they definitely do.
They have some movement, but there's no way that you've got like strands of GSP doing that.
Oh, we're gonna fall out.
Right. Well, I'm going to end the poll because I've won. So
you won.
51-48.
How is that even possible? That it shouldn't have even been close.
I agree, it shouldn't have been close. GSP should have absolutely smashed you. That's such a good coral. That's got to be on there. I'd have been disappointed if that didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what best stands for though, because I'm choosing corals that are like cool colors and bright, and you can make money from, and
hobby's not about making money from it, is it?
Yeah, well, there are a lot of hobbyists that want to make money from their tank, so they can get rid of their green star polyps and replace it with something nicer.
But there are various reasons that I think GSP is definitely a best, because it's bright and colourful, it's got swaying movement, it's cheap, it's easy. I think that's probably, if you draw up a graph of the Venn diagram of easy to keep and looks nice, that's probably the best.
Yeah, look, I agree with you. I like green star polyps, but I would say similar to what Serious Reef said about a regal tank. You don't see any long-term reefers that are so excited to put green star polyps in their tank. Usually, you get a couple of weirdos. Yeah, it's almost like you put your hand up when I said couple of weirdos. Then, but
no, this is true. It's more of a beginner-friendly coral, I think, but it's just really nice. It's a nice coral. Anyway, what have you got next?
I feel this is unfair now because it's you're basically what's happening is I'm putting one up and you're choosing from your 14 other ones or whatever it is. I'm going to go for Utter Chaos because I would argue that Utter Chaos is probably the best zoas that you can get.
Utter Chaos zoas. All right, so I've got to choose zoas. I can't ask you because you won't be independent about it. I'm going to put. So actually, I think. If I was going to choose my favourite, what should I go for? If I was going to choose my favourite to go against Utter Chaos, and Utter Chaos is a good one, I would probably go for Blue-Eyed Blondes. Because I really like Blue-Eyed Blondes.
They're all right.
They're amazing. They
don't have that. They don't have that firstly, those ones are quite a small polyp zoa. So
I like the small ones.
But Utter Chaos are I've got much larger polyps, so they have a much more impact, and they're much brighter as well.
I'm going to go for scrambled eggs. They're really nice and really bright.
So you said Blue-Eyed Blondes, and then you went for scrambled eggs.
No. I was saying that if I'm choosing my favorite, but if I'm choosing a best for most people, scrambled eggs, because I prefer. So Utter Chaos are bigger polyps. I prefer the smaller ones. I think when you've got a massive mat of small polyps, it looks nicer. The one thing I don't like about Utter Chaos is they tend to grow quite big, and then if they do grow big, they end up on stalks, and they don't look as neat as things like rasters and scrambled eggs and Blue-Eyed Blondes, those sorts of things. So I prefer those. And what's the lemon lime? I can't remember. There's one I've got that's nice.
Lime chilies.
Cool. Lime? No, not lime chilies. No. Pink and green one. Whatever. Anyway. You get the idea. But basically, do you prefer larger polyp zoas or small ones then?
Larger, definitely. They have way more impact. Okay. And also, if you give them minimal light, zoas can get huge. I remember there was a shop that had a really, really tall display tank, and the light couldn't get to them. And their zoa polyps were the size of your thumb. Yeah. They were huge. I'd never seen anything like it before, but that's because they were so desperate, stretching. They were the right color, and they were Utter Chaos, but it's I
don't like that. I like it when they're small and close to the rockwork. I think that looks when they're best. Although the good thing of when they're a bit longer, And utter chaos, my utter chaos used to do this. My clownfish used to live in the utter chaos because they can get between the stalks, whereas they can't do that with scrambled eggs or rastas or whatever.
The other downside to the small one is that usually people want to start a Zoa garden, and this every so often you get like a little snippet of like useful information amongst all the nonsense on this live stream. Yeah, Zoas come in different sizes. They are big ones or small ones. Do not combine them because you will only have big ones left. Loads of people want to have a Zoa garden, don't they? And the smaller ones just can't compete. So
that's true. But I find you can put small ones that will outcompete big ones as well. I had the one that I'm thinking of, and I can't remember what it's called.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I've never had that experience myself. Normally, it's a pain in the ass in the coral farm because I'll leave them somewhere, and all of a sudden you come back, and then all the big ones have grown over the little ones.
Yeah, I can't remember. This really annoying me. You've bought them off me, or well, I've given you a load before. They're little pink and green ones. Do you remember? Oh, I can't remember. I couldn't find them on your website.
Are you sure it's not fake lime chilies? Because they are pink and green.
100%. No, they're purple. No, it's not them. Anyway.
Pink diamonds? They're pink and green?
No. Anyway, you won't remember. But so those ones I've had before, they're very small polyps, same as scrambled eggs. And they absolutely smothered everything else. Which is really annoying because when you want a Zoa garden, because the problem with Zoa gardens is that you can put you have this image in your head and you're going to go like, oh, I'm going to put a green one next to a red one and then an orange one next to a purple one, and you're doing all this theory about how amazing it's going to look, and one will smother the rest over a long enough period of time. Might take 6 months, it might take 5 years. It's going to happen.
If you want to have a Zoa garden, the best way of doing it is get loads of small rocks and put them close enough to each other. Laser lemons. Oh, yeah. It was funny. I have 0 of those left. They are so popular. If you still have those, really nice. I want some more. I don't know if I took all of yours, but
no, I've still got some.
Yeah, the best way to do a Zoa garden is to get lots and lots of small rocks. Put the Zoas on that rock, and then you can always move the rocks further apart from each other to create that effect.
These ones, laser lemons. Yeah, so those are the exact ones I'm talking about. They're just, I don't know if it's because they just grow so quickly, but I had this amazing Zoa garden mapped out with like 6 different types, and it ended up just being all laser lemons.
Zoas are one of the corals in the farm actually, where it's funny because like you get extinction events in the farm from over hunting, essentially over fragging, and that's exactly what's happened to those. They were really popular and they would sell all the time. Okay. And basically I fragged them and I fragged them and now and sometimes like you're right, they grew everywhere at first, and then when I started to properly sell them, I got none left. And that's basically what happens in the wild when animals go extinct from overhunting.
It's true. So exactly.
It happens.
You didn't do it sustainably.
There have been times where what was it like? So the ones that's happening at the moment, Tutti Fruttis covered basically a third of the tray, and now I've only got a few frags of that left. I've had it where purple bees have taken over, Pandoras, and slowly but surely you like whittle them down. But because you know that they can be invasive, you can sometimes over whittle them down, and that's what happens.
I had one colony that I'd made. I bought a Zoa rock that I just put a laser lemons on, and it just covered that rock completely. It was probably 8 inches across. It was a good size, and it was completely covered in laser lemons, and it looks so cool. I love the ones that are close to the surface. Anyway, I've ended the poll. Utter Chaos is one, which I think is the right outcome. Yeah. I'm interested to see if Rastas would have done better. What do you think is second best if you hadn't gone for Utter Chaos?
I have got on my list. I've got Sunny D's, LA Lakers.
Sunny D's is a good shout.
LA Lakers are very close to scrambled eggs, and LA Lakers are basically exactly the same Zoa, but the blue is slightly like blue.
But it's much nicer with scrambled eggs, I think.
Why?
I don't know. It just is.
Sometimes when they're in the farm next to each other, you can barely tell the difference. So I'm not sure how it can be much.
The LA Lakers are smaller polyps as well.
Are they?
I don't. Yeah, I've got a few Zoas in my current tank. I don't really have many, but in my last tank I had quite a few. I'd like to have a whole Zoa tank, but again, you'd end up with just like one 3-foot colony of Utter Chaos. So
this What I'm about to say is only going out to like a very, very select group of people. Basically, if you have zoas that you don't want anymore and you're relatively local, or you're willing to drop them down, I'm interested because I'm
What's
trying
local?
I
Where are
don't
you?
know. Oh, I'm about 20 minutes from Horsham. Horsham's like the
Sussex.
nearest town. Yeah, I'm in Sussex. But yeah, but if you're in like Manchester, just like there's no point, if you see what I mean. But also the other thing is you've got to be realistic about what you want from them. Don't go, I bought this Zoa polyp for £30 a polyp and now I've got 1,000 of them, so you owe me 30,000. But
Yeah.
but Zoas are one of the things I'm trying to get what I want is a 4-foot tank full of different Zoas. I don't think I'll be able to do it for Aqua. Just one. I've got 4 tanks. I want one tank just for Zoas. But to get Zoas is not that easy. Like the sort of high coloured ones, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
So
all right. I'm going to break. I think I looked down my list of stuff next, and I'm like, oh, I don't know if I need to split these. So I'm going to do the first one next. So next for me is Pulsing Xenia.
Okay.
And it's very important to me that this wins because Pulsing Xenia, although I don't have it and wouldn't buy it, is amazing. And it should be on the podium.
Alex says he's not playing any strategy games or anything like that, but the one like really, really unique coral that is like would be very hard to beat, that is unlike anything else that everyone loves, is the one he picks that he wants to go first on. So
if I could just wait until you choose something that I think I could beat. So I'm not.
Yeah, that's true.
I just want to get out. The only thing is, my fear is that you might go with pink clove polyps.
I was going to go.
And I'd like both of them to be on this list. Papaya. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Polyps is what I was going to go for.
Yeah.
They are less invasive than Xenia. Again, sell for good monies. So what we should do a live stream of how to get your tank to pay for itself. Because I just think it's interesting. If you're growing Montipora, for example, most people will throw plating Montipora in the bin because they can't sell it. But if you're growing like John Deere Leptastria, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not interested in that. You've done videos on that. I think I've done videos on that in the past.
Yeah, probably
something similar, probably. But
so what are we going for? Papaya, clove against?
I've put them both up, and this is so I would like them both to be on this list ideally, but I think that's probably a fair choice because they are quite similar, aren't they?
Yeah.
But and because papaya cloves, I agree, but not your one. Papaya clove polyps do pulse a little bit, but they don't pulse and sway as much. Yeah.
I didn't know
they don't pulse and sway like Xenia does.
Yeah.
But I think from the looks of it, it's not going well for Xenia, which is a shame. A list without pulsing Xenia.
If I went up, if I had put a toadstool up, for example, against pulsing Xenia, I think it would have won. I think that's
what I mean. So I could have done that and I could have cheated, but I'm not trying to cheat. I'm trying to get the best.
That's all right. Look, I'm going to give you permission to cheat now because it's now 3-1.
I don't want to cheat. I don't want to cheat. I want to get the best 5 corals. Although I think these are the right corals to compare.
But you're not sure they're the right ones to go in.
No, I would like both to go in. I think if I was drawing up a list of top 5 corals, soft corals, both of those would be on my list. I wouldn't leave one out. But the Xenia does come with a caveat. It's going to spread. It's a pain in the ass to take off. We've talked about this 1,000 times before. When you try to pull it off, it's slippery as anything. So getting it off is impossible. You can't just isolate it and it'll be okay because it'll pop off and appear halfway across your tank. It grows. Most of the time, it grows really quickly, so it spreads like crazy. The other side of that, though, is sometimes inexplicably it'll just die. So it's a beginner-friendly coral, but it's not like a really hardy. Like you can't if you've got like toadstools or mushrooms, you can't like if that dies. Whoa, you need to have a hard look in the mirror. If Xenia dies, fair enough. It's just I don't know what clove polyps are like. I don't think I've ever kept clove polyps.
Clove polyps, I've had clove polyps for. They're relatively easy to keep, I think. It's interesting because what I classify, like most corals for both of our tanks generally would survive now, unless there's something obscure. Would you agree?
Like when you... as a general rule, but yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if you got a toadstool, it'd probably survive. If you got a Kenya tree, it'd probably survive. If you got a there's some trickier corals like Goniopora where you know that some will survive and some won't survive.
50-50.
So I think that gives us a... How do I put this? It doesn't give us an accurate representation of how easy a coral is to keep for a beginner, because the people who want to know how easy a coral is to keep are usually beginners, if you see what I mean. So are clove polyps hardy? Maybe. I actually don't know. I've never put them to the test, if you see what I mean. But yeah, I think you understand what I'm trying to say.
I do, yeah. But I'm going to end the poll. Papaya clove polyps for the win, Ryan.
There you go.
Is that now when we've got a list of the top 5?
No, we got 4.
3, 4. One more to do. Oh, do you know what I want to win the next one?
I've already got my one, and I'm going to say it. Japanese weeping willow toadstool. A green Japanese. No, type this in: green weeping willow toadstool, because I've searched it. The reason I've searched it is because I want to know I know the exact pictures that come up.
Weeping willow.
And it's the second picture of it. I'm very specific. The TCN Japanese.
I'm going to put... Oh, hang on a second. Which is best? Which is best?
I don't even know what you put up.
Weeping willow. Oops. Or what was the other one I was going to do? Oh, yeah. Okay.
We have to get the pictures up before you start the.
I
don't even know what your one is yet.
Do you want me to stick?
I take this very seriously. This is
my ass and clean the floor after me. Right.
This is like the one part of my week I get to enjoy. So.
What did you want me to? Japanese weeping willow.
Green weeping willow toadstool. Is because I can show you the exact one in the pictures.
What? So green weeping
willow.
So fussy, aren't you? God, right. Okay. Right. There we go. Which one is it? Which one do you want?
It's the second picture. That one. That is like a proper nice toadstool. That looks like a torch.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Okay. It does. Yeah. It's all right. Yeah. It does look a bit like a torch. Yeah. I'll give you that. So I really like that, actually. I don't have that same thing.
I just need to clarify something, just quick. Paul has just said that the pictures are warped. I have this. People say this to me all the time. It's not the pictures that are warped. It's the curve of the webcam, which makes them look warped. It has a slight thing to it. People come to the farm and they go, "Do you do that on purpose to get people to comment?" I'm like, "No, they are straight." So
it's funny. So the Reef Dork, that thing behind me, that UV painting behind me, that looks straight on here, but it is at a distinct angle. So actually, in real life, when I look at it, it's at a real steep angle. It looks ridiculous. Yeah. But when I have it straight on the wall, it looks bent on the camera. So I have to have it looking ridiculous. I don't like it.
Anyway, sorry. What was I going up against for this one?
So I want your coral to win.
Okay.
So I'm going with green Capnella, which is the toxic green Kenya tree, basically.
It's like I would say that's actually a pretty close battle between the two of them because they're the same color.
Yeah, but I think they're boring. I just think they're boring. You've got a lot more going on with the polyps and the little bits at the end of the polyps, whatever they're called, the tentacles, I don't know, on the toadstool. I really like toadstools. Capnella I don't like, and it spreads like crazy. It'll drop off babies. It grows, I'm not a fan.
I've got it growing in the farm as well at the moment. It's interesting. That's been on the auction website. There was one week where it went for like 45 and one week where it went for 15. It's like how can there be such a variation between exactly the same coral?
But that's what's it called? Auctions.
yeah. That's actually happened this week. There was that while the poll's going, there was a blue hydronophora, which was on a couple of weeks ago for £11.99. Did not sell. It was a big piece. I cut it into 4, and one piece of that 4 is now at £30. There is no rhyme or reason. You see what I mean with this?
People do prefer smaller corals, though. Generally,
Yeah,
like smaller
yeah,
frags. Like you don't like if you put an enormous piece of that green Japanese, whatever it is, weeping willow. If you put
yeah.
like a massive
foot wide piece, yeah,
like a 6-inch chunk, no one's touching it. If you buy a 1-inch bit, you can
Yeah.
see where that's going to go in your tank, and the reality is it's going to get too big. But that's people want smaller frags, generally speaking. There'll be some people who are like, oh, I only want a colony or whatever. But and you don't want to feel like you're being ripped off. You don't want like a 2 millimeter long frag of of toadstool. But generally, people don't want big corals and big fish either. You don't go if you're buying a tang, you don't go and buy a 10-inch long dory, do you? You buy like a 50p size one.
See, now that the little angels are in the water box tank, I'm actually looking at the other fish going, I'm not sure I like you because you're so big in comparison to some of the other fish in there that it looks weird. So I'm not sure. I have a real like love-hate relationship with that tank. The thing, this is the problem though, because obviously if I like, there's quite a big convict tang in there, there's quite a big gem tang in there, and I just think if I took those out, people are going to go, and I didn't film it, which I can't be bothered to film at the moment. People are going to go, he's killed all those fish, but I haven't. I just wanted to like move them on. And I know I could just film a 30-second clip of me replacing them, if you see what I mean. But
it doesn't matter, does it?
No, I know. Anyway, I don't know why, but that's something that I'm genuinely thinking about. But that's like first world problems. So
this is true. Okay, we're going to move on to that. So we now have a definitive list of the 5 best soft corals in the hobby. They are GSP, papaya clove polyps, jawbreaker mushrooms, toadstool, whatever that toadstool was, and Utachaozoas.
I think I would say that's pretty good.
Are you happy with that list?
Yeah, I think if you had all those in if you could only have 5 corals in a tank, and those were the 5 corals, I think you went a bit overboard with the jawbreaker compared to the rest of them, but but yeah, I know. Yeah, it was the jawbreaker one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So I think if you get like green star polyps and next to like a 200-pound coral is pretty extreme.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I'd say that's a good list.
Happy. I think they look nice next to each other, to be fair.
Yeah,
green
good contrast.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to move on to LPS coral now.
This is the hardest one, I think.
There's a million options, and just even like you could say torch coral, then it's like, well, just torch coral or a particular type, and then same for gunnies, same for chalices, everything. I'm going to kick off. I'm going to cheat. I'm going to tell you right now, this is cheating. I'm going to go for a Holy Grail torch as my first one.
Okay, I see your Holy Grail torch, because the first one I was going to go for was an Aussie gold torch. Like one of those true, like proper gold ones with the white balls on them. And if you think that you've seen them, like I couldn't even, like I've seen hundreds of torches. I can't even tell you the last time I've seen a proper Aussie gold one.
Which one are we talking about? This one?
You'd have to click it to sort of zoom in, I think. But
that's as big as that one. The ones that die all the time. Okay. Okay, fair enough. Well, I'm going to do. So I've misspelled Aussie. I've spelled it with a Z. Zussie.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Zussie gold torch. That's Aussie gold torch. Which
there are loads of corals which look kind of like your torch, but a true
competition aside, which of those do you prefer?
I swear there's the gold one. Like that is a very, very unique coral. Unfortunately, when people get them, they die almost every time. They come from like a river mouth with really, really like silty water. When you put them in a pristine reef tank, I don't know anyone. I know loads of. I've probably got like 200 or 300 people. I don't know a single person who has those. I have bought them in before, and I've sold them. But I don't know if they still have them.
Yeah. No, I've not seen them for a while. So no, they don't do well at all. But then, I mean, torches are generally difficult. Aussie gold torches in particular are more difficult. The one torch that I've had, my Holy Grail died, and that's actually one of the ones that is on the thumbnail. Is that one of the ones that's on the thumbnail for this this live stream, I think it is. One of the ones that was on the thumbnail is the. Let me just have a look. Live stream. View all live stream. No, I can't see it, but I'm pretty sure.
There's a load of torch corals which look similar to your one. There's like ultra grails and other grails, and they're all like quite similar. So, I mean, it's nice, but the true Aussie gold ones are unlike any other torch that there is. They're almost like yellow.
So I like them both. I genuinely prefer this. That's the one I'm talking about, basically.
Yeah.
Bright yellow with green,
and
that is for me. That is, I might even have that as the most spectacular coral in the hobby. To be honest, it's just so nice. I need to plug in my charger.
Yeah, that's a nice coral there. Like that, the brightness on that.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about, basically. And that might be a polished photo, but they look like that. They're good. They're really, really nice. And the only problem I've got with the Aussie Gold ones, and that is the best photo of an Aussie Gold one. Yeah. And they do look, again, that might be slightly polished, but they do look like that. They are lovely. Yeah, but they're going to die. And it's just, I've not seen them for a while as well. It's annoying, but
there'll be someone out there.
I've seen people exactly, and I've seen people with like their first tank is like 6 months old. It's a Fluval Evo, or a year old or whatever, and they've had an Aussie Gold one in there the whole time, and it's fine. And you're like, what? How have you done that?
It's probably because it likes the dirty water.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to end the poll. It's swung actually. It started in favour of Holy Grail Torch, and then it swung slightly back in favour of Aussie Gold, Zussie Gold. But it's now quite. It's not close anymore. It's Holy Grail Torch is one.
I can't remember if I said this to you after the live stream. Do you think that I wasn't sure if because like without how do I put this? We've done many of these, and you don't always do brilliantly in them, do you? Do you think you have a poor choice, a poor taste, or do you think that you're not as good at like selling it?
I don't really care, to be completely honest. I don't
interested know. As to what it is.
I don't know.
I think it's terrible taste.
Terrible taste. A lot of the time, I don't know. I got no idea. But I don't sit down. If I was bothered, I'd sit down and analyze it, and I'd spend hours preparing. But there we go.
Anyone who says that is definitely bothered.
Okay. What is your next coral, Ryan?
Okay, I'm going to go since we're going for fancy corals, I'm going to go for a Master Scully. I think that you'll have to show me the pictures because there's all like what is a Master Scully? There is no definition, if you see what I mean. I'll have to just pick one that's nicer than the rest of them.
Well, okay. Here we go.
What do you mean? See. Or you can just pick one that's nicer than the rest of them. But you look, a Master Scully, you know roughly what they are. So they're usually a Scully that's got 3 or 4 different colors, I think, is what classifies as a Master.
Yeah, the Master Scully is a funny thing because it's. Well, do you know what? I'm going to pull up the 2 photos. One that I'm going to go for, one that you've chosen. And I'm going to start the poll. There we go. So I'm going for Bleeding Apple Scully because that's the best.
I'm going for the Master one on the right.
That's the kind of thing you're talking about. The only problem with these is you can't get them. They almost never come up, and when they do, they're thousands of pounds.
Yeah.
I actually looked at. I think that will win.
When was the last time you saw a Bleeding Apple that looked like that one? You picked the nicest.
Yeah, that is a nice one. That is a nice one. But when was the last time you saw a Master Scully that looked like that one?
I probably at one of the shows in America. That would be. I don't think I've ever seen one of those here. Not a single time.
No. So I had both of these on my list, and I leant towards Master in the end. But I do. Master feels like I'm not accusing you of cheating, but Master kind of feels like cheating because they're like you can get a Bleeding Apple Scully anytime you want. A Master Scully. If you've got $5,000, you can have it. Yeah. But no one's going to be brave and the other thing is, even if I had $5,000 to spend on a coral, I'm not buying one of them.
Yeah, but if you had
thinking, what if it dies?
If you had £100 million,
10 million quid, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Then you would probably have, you'd have 10 of them.
And then if it dies, it dies. Don't care.
actually, look, if you had £100 million in your bank account, you wouldn't have 10 of them. Well, you may have 10 of them, but what you actually would have is a whole rate. You'd have one of each color. Because that's what people do. No, like if you have 10 Master Scullies but no Bleeding Apple Scullies, if you saw a Bleeding Apple Scully in a shop, that would be the special one.
But then, so there's that Master Scully, and then there's that Master Scully. You'd have a couple of them, and there was one that was called a UFO Scully.
They're the green ones, aren't they?
Maybe, but you'd have a few Master Scullys, but you would. So I currently have a Bleeding Apple, War Paint, and like an orange one. Is it an orange one?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. And you do want the variety. But yeah, I think you would if you had load of money. I'm talking buku bucks.
Yeah,
you'd have a collection of Master Scullys. But not in the UK, you wouldn't, because you can't get them.
Yeah.
So
yeah, true. I've not seen a Master Scully come in under as one of those little. I've got a nice War Paint which has got 3 different colors in it. But I haven't got a I've not seen a Master one come through as those the agriculture Scullies.
I would guess that's because no one wants to cut them up, and because it's so easy to sell them. Because if you've got a Master Scully, you're all right, they're expensive, but you'll find a buyer, no problem.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Whereas, and they're fewer and further between. So if you get one Master Scully, you might get 1,000 Bleeding Apples for every one Master Scully. And why not just sell it? Why risk cutting it in half?
Because then you can get 4 Master Scullys.
Yeah, but it'll die, and you could just bump the price up and charge 40 grand instead of 10 grand, and someone will pay.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Perhaps unsurprisingly, Master Scully worked. Master Scully 1, sorry. So there we go. Master Scully Ryan. So there we go. Master Scully 1. Next one. Have you got a chalice on your list?
I actually don't.
Oh,
I don't, but I've got something. I've got something that will go up against the chalice, I would say.
Okay. So I'm going to go for a watermelon chalice.
No, that's a good shout.
I would have gone for my second one was Raja Rampage.
Yeah.
And I think you don't like them, but you do like watermelon.
I do like watermelons, yeah. Oh, look at what he's doing. He's getting me to admit that I like his coral at the beginning. Nice.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a Dragon Soul Goniastria, or for years and years and years, they were called Dragon Soul Favias, but I've always thought they were Goniastrias. And then today I looked and Worldwide Corals is selling it as a Goniastria. So it might be, if you Google it, it might be under either.
I've put in. Okay, so let me just show whilst I'm putting in. So yeah, Dragon Soul Fabias are on my list as well. I would like both of these to be on there. Actually, they're quite similar colours, aren't they? To be fair.
First coral is my one.
That's your one.
That's literally on my website.
Yeah. Let's get a note. I'm not saying that yours is a bad photo, but that's a better photo. That's a better photo. That's a really good one.
Yeah. Whatever you're happy with.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got a really nice colony of both of these, to be fair.
Yeah.
Dragon Soul Favia. I'm calling it a Favia because I'm a player.
The only thing that you can't see in that, they have a really gold edge to them. Their growth ring is really gold, which you can see in my frags, because obviously a frag is all growth ring, if you see what I mean. Yeah. But it's true. But the rest of the colony doesn't have that same gold in between. So if you like it, basically, if you like the gold, don't buy it.
Yeah, no, but you still get it on the edge, don't you? It's like acros. Yeah. The acros look amazing when they're frags, and then it turns out that it's just the tips that look nice. So that's not quite true, but
or just the growth around the edge of the base.
Exactly. They're very nice. So actually, my watermelon chalice has been through thick and thin with me. It's gone through. It's gone through salinity swings. It's gone through all sorts of problems, and it's still going strong. I like it. I've never fragged it, actually. That's one coral that it's getting to a big disc size, and now it grew into a disc, and then it started drooping down at the ends. So it would make sense to frag it now, but I just don't want to frag it because it's just so nice.
Well, when you're ready to frag it, you let me know. You can bring that and your zoas.
Yeah. Because they're both really nice.
That is one of the corals I actually really like. I really like a watermelon chalice.
You've got it right.
I have like 4. Mine grows really slow. Does yours grow slowly?
No, it grows reasonably quickly, I would say. Actually,
I think I've got it in the wrong place in the farm. I think I should move it to a different position, just because it grows so slow compared to like the other. It's with the other chalices. And the other chalices grow fine, but that one just like I've got 4 frags in it, probably a year. and that's too slow to be growing. If you see what I mean. For a farm to grow something, 4 frags in a year is not enough.
No, this is very true. I'm trying to find a photo of it, but mine's amazing. I really like it. I've lost it now. I was looking on Instagram, but I can't find it. But it doesn't matter, right? Where are we on the poll? 56% Dragon Soul. Let's end it there. Oh, have I ended it? No, I haven't. End poll. 54% Dragon Soul. Right, Dragon Soul beats. What was your? I'm surprised you didn't have a chalice on there. Why didn't you have a chalice on there?
No,
I don't like chalices.
I don't mind chalices. I've never been a massive fan of them. I don't mind Raja Rampage. I just don't have the same like feeling of love that you have for it. It's a green coral, basically.
It's true. That's the problem. Yeah. So next up, we've got to go for something plebby. So it can't be fancy. It can't be 10 grand. It's got to be the equivalent of GSP. So have you got anything on your list that is a plebby?
If it costs £20, is that okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's fine. Yeah.
Okay. John Deere Leptastria. That's what I'm going for.
Yeah, okay.
That is a nice coral. I've actually got another one as well, which probably will be even better. But John Deere Leptastria is one of my fastest, most profitable corals. Because everyone loves it. Whenever people see it in the person, the pictures are not great, but when you see it in person,
it's hard to photograph, isn't it?
Yeah.
I could never get it looking as nice in photos as it does in
real life,
in person. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm going to put up. I think this is going to win, but I'm going to put up. I think a really good competitor next to it, and that is the Jack-o'-lantern Leptoceras.
I've got that on my list.
Yeah, both of these. Well, I prefer Jack-o'-lantern, to be honest, but these two are both. And this isn't what I meant by plebby. We'll come on to. Have you got any other plebby corals on your? Beginner AF, like Duncan or.
I don't actually, but I do. Again, I have another cheap coral, and I would. I don't know if it would be considered a beginner coral, but. I've got one. Yeah, I've got one I can use. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. But it's this. So I prefer. I don't have a John Deere Leptoceras. I had a colony that grew. That was my one problem with it, and this is the same with any coral, right? They grow big, and I had one colony that I ended up. I moved on because I got fed up of it. It just got enormous.
Didn't you sell it to me?
No, I sold it to Jamie, who's got a 10-foot tank.
Oh yeah, I'm buying that.
Oh, are you? Brilliant. Yeah.
I've already paid for it. I just haven't picked it up yet. So it's now
fantastic.
So it's come full circle.
Yeah. That's great because it's a really nice coral. And when I do find it looks nicer as a frag than as a colony.
Also, the other thing that might have a detrimental impact on it is that his goldflake at one point was eating it. So I don't know if it still eats it. But his goldflake was the one coral that his goldflake used to eat.
There was a lot of it, to be fair, so I suspect it'll be okay.
Isn't it interesting how, and I've noticed this a few times with the pictures that you show up, one of the corals can look, even in a picture, can look significantly brighter than the other. So, which one of these looks brighter in your opinion? But
in real life,
yeah,
Jack-o'-lantern.
But based on those pictures, which one looks brighter?
Based on those pictures, which looks brighter. Well, that's a particularly bright picture of a Jack-o'-lantern.
But scroll to the top of the Leptastria page, like where you were a minute ago. I think the Leptastria page looks way brighter than the Jack-o'-lantern page. Do you not agree?
Just generally. Oh, yeah, there's some bad photos of well, not bad photos, but these to me.
One of those is mine. That's my photo.
Is that yours?
Yes.
No, this is mail order corals. That to me is the best representation.
The black one. The one with the black background is my photo.
That is a bad photo. Actually, no, that's not terrible. But the mail order corals one, which is a nice one, that is. Oh, I've lost it now. That one. That is a really good representation. That is exactly what it looks like. It is that nice. I'm going to end it because it's a no-brainer. It's a no contest there. It's winning. It's one. Jack-o'-lantern.
What one? Oh, did it?
Jack-o'-lantern. Oh. Yeah.
Well,
Jack-o'-lantern. You don't get many orange corals, do you? I know we had Utter Chaos.
Someone just wrote the ugly photo of Ryan's. Yes, we know.
That's actually, to be fair, that's not a bad photo. It's just when it's very small, it looks bad.
Yeah.
When it looks big, because that's a proper. That's not an iPhone photo.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right.
Let's go for our easy one then. I am going to go for a purple tipped frog spawn. It has
perfect.
It has a real powerful impact of purple tipped frog spawn. The contrast with the green is like it's definitely one of those corals, and it moves as well. It's one of those corals that moves, and people love a frog spawn or a hammer or a torch. So I would say it's I don't know what you're going to put up against it. You're going to be like master tracky.
Let me just no, I'm not going to cheat. Which one of these is that? That's the sort of thing you're talking about, isn't it?
Nice. Some of them are more like brightly coloured than others, but roughly close.
Some of them, that's not a bad photo. Some of these don't look how they look in the flesh, but they are. It's that sort of thing. That's what I have in mind.
I have a frog spawn which looks like that, which is that vivid green with the purple tips. So I think that I don't think there's a bad photo of it.
Fine, that's good. I'll put that one up. It is going up against, and this is one of the when people put names up against these, it's ridiculous. But hang on a second, I need to get the poll started.
Is it going to be a toxic green Super Hulk candy cane?
It's exactly what it is. But the toxic green Hulk, it's like, oh god, come on, get over it. Right, let me put that picture up whilst I'm putting this up. What was it?
I would call that a toxic green candy cane. I actually would.
Yeah.
And the reason the reason I would is because you get green candy canes as well. So it's to differentiate between the two.
That's probably fair. I'm probably being harsh there, but that is my candy cane, and this is one of the ones. Oh, it's gone. This is one of the ones that was looking really good with aminos. The amino acids made a huge difference to that coral, or a noticeable difference anyway. It looks much puffier. I'm happy with either of these winning. I think that they're good competitors because they're both freely available. You can buy them anywhere. They're both relatively affordable.
Yeah.
They're both quite fast growing.
Yeah,
relatively easy to keep.
One of them is like cooler than the other, has nice flow.
I agree. Yeah, this is true.
I've had one of my frog spawns. In fact, I had two of my frog spawns for 18 years. 18 years. That is a long time to have a coral, isn't it? And in that time, I have killed a candy cane.
Really?
Yeah, I've definitely killed a candy cane before.
Just one.
I had two massive ones. One was that sort of green color, and one was the bicolor one, which is like the purple and then the green center. But they were growing underneath. What actually happened was they were under a shelf, which Hystrix grew out of, and then I just never moved them, and it shaded it out basically. So they didn't die, but they were like really unhappy.
I've just realised we didn't have a Gonny on the LPS corals.
Have we done for LPS? Is that it?
That's the fifth one. Where's the poll? Hang on.
Oh my god, I had loads.
Yeah, frog spawn 1. I know this. So we'll go down our list of.
Okay.
Sorry. We'll go down our list of other corals, but frog spawn has 1. But this is a thing we could have done. The softies, I was out of selections quite early, but LPS. I stopped. I've got 15 on my list, 14 on my list, sorry. And I stopped because I just got bored of doing it. But go through some of your other ones. What else did you have on there?
I think that, so one of the most popular corals that I sell is a Cephastria decadia. You know, the pink ones with the branching Cephastria. That is like, I don't know why, that I sell more of that than like, I can't grow that quickly enough to be able to sell it. I've got.
I'm going to do a quick poll. This doesn't count.
Yeah.
But I'm curious. Sif Decadia, which is the branching Cephastria.
There's two. I've actually found a third different variation of it the other day. So I have 2 variations of it, and then I've just bought a colony of a third variation. You have one which has got like a really light pink base, and then you have one which has got a purple base to it. But it's one of those corals that stands out because people think it's an SPS coral because it's growing up with branches, and they're like, "Oh, that's a really weird, like knobbly acro or whatever." And then you tell people it's a Cephastria.
Yeah. So I can't find a better. That's a better photo. Let me put that up there. So this is the Bizarro Sophastria is one that I had on my list. Or there's something else. There's another one that's always I think is the same coral, but some people say it's different. Anyway, I love the Bizarro Sophastria. It did occur to me that you're just going to choose your best selling corals and put them on your list.
No, because I didn't. Like I'd never sold a Master Scully, for example, and I didn't put this on there. I think
but that's
the picture you need to show of this is the colony, because like it's the shape of it, not that colony. Why would you pick the ugliest picture?
That one?
Yeah, like that one. Yeah, well, I suppose it's too small, you can't really see it. But it's the growth on it that makes it interesting. It's not so much the coloration.
I have a Sophastria Decadia in my tank, in my main tank. And I like it, but it's one of my least favorite corals. I think the growth pattern is funny. When you've had acros and they're proper bushy or tabling or whatever, they look awesome. And compared to that, I'm not that keen on those.
Interesting. When you want to get rid of it cheap, you let me know.
Sophastria Bizarro Sophastria 1, 6238. But then what else did you have on your list? Sorry.
I had Iron Man Bernard Pora. I think
I had that. That's a really nice coral. Yeah.
Red Cineria, which
okay.
I've got. I had an Acanthophila. I didn't want it. I just thought I'll use it. I'll have it just in case.
They're nice. I like them.
They are nice.
Do you not like them?
No, they're nice, but like I don't feel like I did. Like it's not. I would only pick that to try to win something, not because I actually believe it's one of the best ones, is the honest answer. Because if you said to me, would I rather have one of those red trackies or an Acanthophila, I'd pick a red trackie. I just prefer them.
Okay, so, I really like the Acanthos, to be honest. I love there's like a war paint Acanto. They're really nice.
Have you ever had one?
No, they were too expensive back in the day, and now you can't get them legally.
Yeah. There's one person I know who does have them, and he's had them for years and years. It's Rich's Reef. And if ever he shuts his tank down, I'm getting straight in there.
Well, there was someone who sold. There was someone who sold that they had 2 or 3 on Ultimate Reef a year or so ago, and I wasn't feeling flush at the time, but they were like 600 quid, and he'd had them years.
They're not.
And I was really, but he was up the other end of the country as well, so it would have been a long journey. And I was just I'm not going to do it. But if that came up now, I'd bought it.
You know how TMC give out like little like documents with their scullies,
the certificate
saying this is a aquaculture scully. Rich's Reef will have to give out a little. If you ever sold them, we'll have to give out a little document saying this is Rich's Reef Acanthophila. I've had it for like 10 years.
Yeah. We won't even go into that. What else was on your list?
I had a hologram hammers are all right. Amazeball Gonny, like I'm not sure. I would have just picked a red Gonny, to be honest, or any of those ones that are like red with like the yellowy tips. But I couldn't find the name of the one with the red with the yellowy tips. But they're all right.
So I'm going to do another poll on this one, because this was I had 2 in mind that I was thinking if we were going to go Gonnies, and we should have done Gonnies. Inferno Gonny. Amazeballs, Gonny. Oops, Gonny. Okay, so they're not very good photos of the. All right, so I think, to be fair, the photos aren't very good of the Inferno Gonnies. The Inferno Gonnies are much nicer content. That's a good photo. Yeah,
I like that.
I love it. It's really nice. The Amazeball is nicer, I think.
I've not seen enough Amazeballs. Like I might have seen maybe one frag of it ages ago.
Yeah.
They're not something that's readily available, unfortunately.
No, which is a shame. So my one's struggling. It was looking amazing for about a year, and it's struggling now. Amazeballs is winning.
Critical Reef says he feels ashamed. In years of reef keeping, he's never kept a Gonny. I didn't keep my first Gonny for 14 years.
Don't do it. 14 years. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. Firstly, you'll become addicted, and secondly, you might have 10 of them, and 7 of them will be amazing, and 3 of them will frustrate the hell out of you.
Yeah. No, they are lovely. By the way, if you're wondering where the other features are, like Oh, there is one. Interesting. I was going to say like member questions and card of the week and fish of the week, all that sort of stuff. There were no member questions, and there's no news. There's no news at all. Literally nothing. There were no member questions, but there is one. So we'll do that in a second. Card of the week seems a bit silly. But we'll do this before we go on to SPS. Let's do the member question now. Richard Reef, really sad to see H2O Aquatics is shutting down, as mentioned in last week's episode. Alex, you mentioned looking for a new shop to check out. Kettering Aquatics is decent, and combined with Reef Keeper Rugby makes a nice double trip. My question is, if either of you watched Juice Bigelow growing up, funny film and has some saltwater content. There's. Have you watched Juice Bigelow? Bigelow? They've got a big old fish tank with lionfish.
Lionfish, it's a lionfish that they put in. He puts in the blender, doesn't he? If that's a spoiler for people, for a film that's like 20 years old.
I was listening to the cricket today, and someone talked about a spoiler in Shakespeare, and he was like, "Oh, spoiler! This guy dies or whatever." And it was like, if you're calling spoiler on Shakespeare, you're a bit late. Anyway, right. I'm going to quickly rattle through the other ones that were on my LPS list. Raja Rampage, Chalice. Space Invader Pectinia. That's a really nice one. Acand, generally, I couldn't work out which, because Acand, that was one of my plebby ones. Iron Man Gunny had Trackies, and Duncan was another plebby one. Duncan's, they should probably be on like the greatest, the GOAT list, because they're hardy and they're, I don't know. That's about it. They're hardy. They're hardy and they're cheap. And
we could end up doing a list of corals that everyone should have at some point in their reefing, because that is green star polyp. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, true. Yeah. All right, we're going to move on to SPS. Oh, actually, sorry. The top 5 list, by the way, the definitive top 5 list is Holy Grail Torch, Jack-o'-lantern Leptoceras, Master Scully, Purple Tip Frog Spawn, Dragon Soul Fabia.
Sounds good to me.
SPS, Ryan. What's your first SPS?
Okay. This isn't the coral I've ever had, but this is, I would argue, is one of the nicest acros you can get, and that is a PC Rainbow acro. Okay.
PC Rainbow acro.
You don't seem impressed.
They're nice. They're a nice coral. They are a nice coral. I would give you.
They're not for everyone, because obviously, like, acros have a habit of just randomly dying, but
PC Rainbow is a hardier acro, I would say.
I just think it's well bright.
I'm trying to find a nice photo of it. This is true. I'm going to go with. Where is a good photo of what I'm looking at? Okay. Strawberry shortcake. Boff photos. Okay. Start poll. So PC Rainbow is the pink, like a thick branching coral with pink tips and a yellow base. That's the best photo I can find, which is signature frags, actually. I couldn't find any colonies. That's not it's probably not quite what it looks like.
It's one of those corals that when you see it in a tank, it's like you notice that above all other coral or other acros.
You think?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. I think they're nice. They was it on my list? I don't think it was on my. I stopped at 9 because that was enough. Actually, because I ran out of time. But was that on my list? That wasn't on my list.
I don't think
okay. They're nice.
Shortcake has the same glow that a PC Rainbow has.
Strawberry shortcake's a funny one though, because there's a million different varieties of strawberry shortcake. I'm talking about like the proper Aussie shortcake.
And they usually die as well. The shortcakes coral. I don't think I've ever been able to import one that hasn't died.
Oh, like wild ones, yeah, maybe. Sure. So I had a colony of strawberry shortcake. It was from a frag it was a good size. It was hardy as hell. No problem with that whatsoever. And it's one of those corals, same as PC Rainbow. It's been in the hobby for years, and you should be readily available. Both of these should be fairly affordable. PC Rainbow is funny. That PC Rainbow doesn't seem to be. I think that should be cheaper because it's quite fast growing.
1 second, I'm sure. So, Worldwide Corals PC Rainbow. I'm sure it was hundreds of dollars.
No.
For a 2-inch frag, It's $249.
PC Rainbow. You're kidding me. That's a relatively hardy, fast-growing acro. I'm surprised that's so expensive. I'm not saying that should be like 10 quid, but that is not too dissimilar to Barley Green Slimer for me.
Really?
Fast-growing, yeah. Not in terms of looks, but in terms of fast-growing and hardiness. Yeah. Barley Green Slimer is probably hardier, but they're okay. I'm surprised.
They've got a 1-inch one for $90.
Oh, it's 50-50.
I think both of those are sort of like signature corals.
I had both in my tank, but I much preferred the strawberry shortcake. Let me see if I can bring up a one of my colony.
Does it glow under the blue light at all?
It does, but it depends. There are different types. So the one I had did, but not. It wasn't like a barley green slime or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was just my absolute. I think this was possibly my favorite coral. That's not the best. That's quite blue lights. That's what's it called? What's it called? Oh, what are those lights called? Those reef bright strips. That's a better.
Yeah, that looks like from here. It looks like a mostly brown coral.
No, it's so nice. I loved that. That was one of my favorite acros. And it's just gone 56% in favor of strawberry shortcake, so I'm going to end it. Sorry.
There you go.
That is, I'm surprised that's so close. PC Rainbow is a lovely coral, but it's not as nice as.
I'm genuinely surprised that people didn't pick the PC Rainbow, based on the looks of it.
Yeah, is that top end for you? Like,
yeah, I actually think that's a really, really nice coral of that type. Like, I wanted to pick an acro, because there's loads of different types. There's Monteporas and things like that. But like what my next one, I don't know if it'll win it, but if you saw it in real life, it would win. I don't know what you're going to put up against it. What's your next one?
My next one on my list. Oh, what should I go? I just Milka Stylo.
That's a pretty standard one, isn't it? I wonder if I've got
one standard, proper plebby. Yeah.
See what
this is another one that everyone should have a Milka Stylo.
But it doesn't glow at all.
No, it looks great in white light, but blue lights, forget it.
They're made of steel as well. They're literally, I don't know what they do to their skeleton, but you cannot cut them with bone cutters pretty much at all. They're one of the hardest corals. What I was going to say is, so the one I was going to go for was a burning banana Stylosynelia, which if you see in the farm, it's one of those corals which doesn't sell brilliantly on the website, but people buy it when they see it in person because it's like the brightest yellow color. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, completely. Look, this is so that there are some corals like this. Where's your photo?
I don't think my photo is great.
No, she's not that great. Let's pick that one. I think that is the fairest representation of what it actually looks like.
It's like yeah, close up. No, it doesn't matter. I would not even notice. It's like the most vivid. It's like that. It's like a jack-o'-lantern where you can see it from across the room, and it's like that vivid fluorescent color. That's what the burning banana has. But it's difficult to get a good picture of it for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't think any of these do it massive justice because there are some like that one where all the polyps are retracted.
Yeah.
Others like that one where. Actually, to be fair, mine did look like that briefly, where it's like 99% red. That's a good one because it is that bright one, and that doesn't look.
Your honest opinion, if you saw a frag of each of those, which one would you say is better?
Burning banana,
like by 1,000,000.
100. The only thing is, I don't. So burning, I presume that that's what everyone classes. Everyone classes those as SPS coral. I don't consider burning banana. I don't consider Stylosynelia to be SPS because I think their care requirements are more similar to LPS corals.
Yeah, I'd say that. I'd argue that's a fair assessment.
I never know. So like Cyphastria, I didn't know if you were going to call them LPS.
They are LPS.
Sorry, SPS.
No, yeah. Cyphastria aren't SPS. But they look like they are.
What's large about the polyps on Cyphastria?
No idea. I know what you're saying. They look. What's the difference between them? They are slightly bigger than the polyps of a Montipora, but like,
Do you guess what way the poll's going?
You must be winning, and that's got to be fixed because
54%. To be fair, the only thing I'll say about it's a classic. Milka Stylo is a classic.
I know
that is like a hobby staple. So yeah, fair enough. I have one of those in my current tank. I've only got like 4 SPS, and I have one of those. Every time I look, this is the thing at the moment. Every time I look at my tank, I love LPS, I really do. But every time I look at it, I just think, how good would that look if it was covered in acros and stylos and all this stuff?
Don't give yourself the pain. What's the point?
I know. I'm going to end the poll. That was close. 52-48. 51-48.
It boggles my mind that that's even remotely close. Because I know it's a classic and this branching and stuff like that, but like it doesn't fluoresce. It's not particularly like, let's put it this way. Yeah. If you're going to replace your SPS corals with nicer corals, that would be the first one you take out.
I don't know, actually. I do love the way it doesn't fluoresce at all. It looks crap under blues. Yeah. But I love the way it looks. The purple. You don't get many purple corals like that. And the thick branches. I do really. It's a really nice coral. But how much do you sell Burning Banana frags for?
They're like 40, I think. And the stylos are like 15 or something.
I was going to guess 50. They're nice. I have one. Although mine doesn't look that nice, weirdly. Annoyingly.
What, your Burning Banana?
Yeah, it just went bland. Or did it die in the end? I can't remember now. But it didn't ever look that nice, which is annoying.
They like a lot of flow, is what I've realised. They like really, like they're one of the few corals which will grow directly in front of MP40, and I mean like right in front.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
interesting.
Like if I put other corals there, they'll die. But if I put that there, it will grow.
Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you want me to go next? Do you want me to go first next, or do you want to go first next?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah.
Oh, what do I go?
Wait a minute. I just realised something.
What?
You put jack-o'-lantern in the LPS category.
Ah, okay. Do you think that's SPS?
Yeah, Leptoceras is an SPS coral. Or
so this is what? But what's large about a polyp on a jack-o'-lantern?
One second. The one that you won is now being disqualified.
I won the torch as well. No, that's not being disqualified. I'm not being disqualified.
Well, you put an SPS up against an LPS coral.
That's not an SPS. So this is what I mean. Like there are corals like Leptostraya, Leptoceras.
Let's just have a little Google.
Plastria.
Leptoceras. SPS coral.
Leptoceras, LPS coral.
Yep. Leptoceras refers to a genus of small polyp stony coral often found in the aquarium hobby.
Is it LPS or S? There's been a discussion on this on Reef to Reef from 2014. I was just at a local fish shop and I had is it SPS or is it LPS? Unique Corals has them listed as the family Agricidae. That is what Samacora and Pavona are.
Les, we need an independent adjudicator, and as you are our moderator, to stop a fight happening, we need you to like side one way or the other. On this.
I'm not saying it's LPS or SPS. I don't care which one it is. And if you list it as SPS on your shop, fine. The reason I counted that as LPS is because that's the same as all the other ones. There are certain corals that, so I don't think a Stylociniella is an SPS at all. That to me is an LPS because of.
To be fair, they have long polyps. They actually do have long polyps.
Not really.
As in the stylos do. When like they have like their polyps can be like 1 centimeter long at night time, and they'll sting the stuff next to them.
Okay.
Which is I would say that's longer than a Montipora, for example.
Yeah, that's true. There you go, LPS. So you've cheated. What's Les just said? Oof.
Les just said off.
Oh, Les. Oof. Off.
No, is that
what we got, Les? What we got, Les? You got to make a decision. Looks like an SPS in most of the picks.
Oh,
ban yourself, Les.
Yeah.
But there are certain corals like that just there's a hobby classification.
The reason it counts is because I have a jack-o'-lantern on my SPS corals and I now can't use it. So it actually does.
See.
That's why it matters because it blocks it out, doesn't it? But anyway, Where did we get to?
I'm going to go with my next one, which is, so I was going to do a coral that is lovely. There's no doubt about it, but I just don't know if I personally love it. So I'm going to go with something else. I'm going to go with a paletta pink tip acro.
Okay,
that is
not really, isn't it? Like, yeah, I would consider
so. This
that,
to
like,
me, you consider that what?
A Joker. They look like Joker. That's what a lot of people call those Jokers, aren't they?
Maybe I bought one that was a rainbow loom, and it looked identical. In fact, I bought a rainbow loom and a paletta pink tip, and I put them next to each other. I genuinely couldn't tell you which is which. They look, but whatever. Rainbow loom, paletta pink tip. That coral there currently on the screen, that Worldwide Coral Sellers paletta pink tip.
Yeah,
that was one of my favorites. Probably nicer than my shortcake, strawberry shortcake, to be honest.
This wouldn't have been the coral I was going to go for, but it is on my list, which is a Walt Disney Tenuous.
That was the other one that I was like,
like
the reason. hang on. Let me put the poll up. Paletta pink tip, Walt Disney Tenuous. It's not technically a tenuous, is it? Isn't it a Buffarian now? Anyway, hang on. Let me get the the photo.
Oh, no, you don't start getting into classifications when you're not sure if a Leptoceras is LPS.
This is very true. I'm going to get a good photo up. That's a good photo. Okay, I'm going to start the poll. Yeah, that's a good photo. Actually, that's a good photo. So
the one I was actually thinking of is the one to the left of that, or the right of that, like that
one.
That's the one I don't know what that is, but that's what I thought it was.
That's what you thought. See, this is the thing; they all look different. The ones I've seen look more like that. In fact,
but that wasn't the one I was talking about. I was talking about that nice, super bright pink one.
Yeah, this is so Walt Disney. In the UK anyway, I'm sure there are others. Some people
go left, go left, as in go down. Down. Sorry, down. You scrolled up. There was a frag in the very middle. No, there was it was just a frag in the middle. That one there. Like when you buy Walt Disney Tenuous from Indonesia, that's what they. If you take a picture with an orange lens, that's what they look like.
Yeah, they'll look like that for about 3 seconds, and then it'll just go crap. So I bought one that was. I don't know if it was a Walt Disney, but it looked like that. But it never looked like that in my tank. It looked like that when I got it. Well, kind of. But yeah, they are. So the reason that didn't make my list, that was the other one that I was going to put instead of the rainbow loom. Yeah. I hate tenuous corals. I hate them. I absolutely despise them. If you think acros are hard generally to get looking their best, try a bloody tenuous. I had so many problems with tenuous in my tank. I never put in the effort to get there, to be fair, but tenuous are a pain in the arse, in my opinion, my experience.
They're
winning
either, to be honest.
No, but to be fair, when it looks like that, you can't argue with that, can you? They are nice.
Have we got one left?
Hang on a second. How many have we got left? How many have we got left? 1, 2. No, we got 2 left. Let me end that poll because that's going to win. 65-35 in favour of Walt Disney.
Do you want to go for a coral which I would consider a basic coral?
Yes, I do. Yeah, okay. Like Monty's, that sort of thing. Yeah, I do. Indeed.
So it's on the nicer end of basic corals, but the reality is it is actually a basic coral with an infection, which is the grafted Montipora was what I was going to go for. Because in terms of like a basic coral, which has exactly the same needs as a Monty cap, like just a redder one, like a grafted Montipora is like a nice. If you get the right like division of colors, it's like a showpiece in a tank. You don't have any grafted, do you?
No, I've never really been that keen on grafted Monties, to be honest.
I have 4 types of it. No, I actually have 5 types. I actually got a type that I've sort of invented myself. Because I just happened to find that the infection is just spread onto something else. If you see what I mean, it's not massively nice, but I have a red and purple one, which is a nice one. I have a dark green and red one. I have an ultra green and red one. So this is where the definition is worth having the ultra. If green really fluoresces, I think it's an ultra.
So I'm going with Crazy T. I'm calling it Crazy T style because there are various similar types, Kung Pao, all those sorts of things. But it's the Monty Paolanensis,
yeah.
whatever I can.
But they come in like they can be green, red, yellow, gold. Which one is it?
It's this kind of. That's Kung Pao, I think, which is because it's got green polyps, maybe. But yeah, the Paolanensis, Monties, those kinds.
Yeah,
I think that is a close call. They are good competitors with each other. Yeah, I always found my Crazy Teas or whatever they were, Paolanensis, they always looked amazing in the shop and never looked amazing in my tank. Maybe it's because I had more phosphate than I had water.
I was going to say it's probably a phosphate level.
So it's not, but I could never get them looking amazing. But yeah, they are nice. They are. The trouble is they encrust though, same as your grafted Monty. Both of these corals will encrust and plate, and if they encrust, they're taking over everything, and they smother acros and don't get me started on Tropic Thunder Monty, Ryan.
I think your one has a brighter color. I think that if you get the right pattern, I prefer the grafted Monty. If you see where it's like proper streaky, if you get one that's just 50-50 like that picture, it's not that great. But if you get like one that's streaky, it's like quite like a powerful impact.
This no like that,
like that sort of that's the one I've always wanted. That one is purple and green. I don't know anyone who has it. I've never been able to find it. I've always wanted that one. So if anyone has a purple and green Montipora like this one, I think it's called a cold fusion or something, get in touch because I definitely want that.
This is slightly different, I think, but the Juggernaut one that you've got, that's a nice card. That's very similar to Gold Rush Monty.
Yeah, that is a Gold Rush. I think that's not a Juggernaut. That's not the one you got from you. No,
I can't find it now. Anyway, let's move that away because that's colouring judgment. We're at 52-48. Let me stop the poll there because otherwise it's going to go back to 50-50. Grafted Monty wins.
Did it?
51-48.
I was surprised by that. Like I thought I didn't have a chance when you put your one up.
No, I think that's okay. I'm all right with that.
Did you not see I was really selling it hard? It's a really nice one, easy. The patterns on it.
They are both. They're good competitors because they are both easy and they'll grow fast. You got nothing to worry about with that. What we got 2 more left, Ryan. 2 more SPS.
We can't have 2 more left. You just said there was 2 left.
Hang on a second. Yeah, Walt Disney Tenuous. That one, didn't it? Oh, I'm starting to wonder if I've missed one now. Okay, we got 1 left. So I'm going to go for a Sunset Millie. Do you know what a Sunset Millie looks like?
Yes, Sunset Millie. Oh, that's an interesting choice. Oh, that was a really good choice, actually. Oh, the only thing that can go up against that would be you get a Millie which is bright pink and green. That's the only thing. I don't have a name for it, but that's the only thing I can think of that could go up against that. Let me see if there's anything else on my list.
You're gonna have to give me a name.
No. You went for like
no. I mean, as in something to search. I'm not saying you can't have that.
Like I would just type in pink and green Millie and see what comes up. And it's like a throw in it's like a stab in the dark.
Millie Pora. Oops, pink Millipora, pink, and green Millipora, Meliopora. Nah. Is it unless you're talking about like the rainbow splice, that sort of thing?
That wasn't what I was talking about, but let's say that's what I'm talking about.
No.
Just type in pink Millie. Actually, go up. It's there.
That's quite nice.
It's
that one.
That'll do. I don't mind.
Okay, pink Millie.
Actually, that one there. Yeah, that one on the screen, the pink and green. Yeah, that's literally what I was looking for.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I've called it pink Millie, but there we go. I love Sunset Millie. That is as bright. If you want bright, you want that yellow and green. Yes, green. So loads of colours of green. Actually, that's similar to the yellow and green Holy Grail torch kind of colours.
If you want a blend of cool colours, though, pick the one on the right.
That's a bad photo. To be fair, that's not doing you the favours. because you can't see the polyps, and the point of a millie is it's got polyps.
So if this wins, even though with a bad picture,
that's your fault for choosing a coral that I can't identify though easily for the purpose of.
What's the poll saying?
The poll is saying,
I reckon it'd be 50-50.
You're winning. No,
really?
You're 64, 36.
I thought it'd be closer than that.
Put the book up. It's not even a great photo.
You're like, put the bad photo back up.
I'm trying to find a better photo of a pink and green millie, but that's better. Not any better.
They're relatively common. You see them pretty often, pink and green millies. Yeah. I don't know why. You see them when they come in from those Indonesian shipments.
Spat. Different. Anyway, there we go. Millies are nice. I didn't have enough millies in my aqua tank. I should have gone for more because they're relatively hardy. Nice thick branches. They look cool. I am going to end the poll there, even though we've only got 28 votes because I think it's going to go that way. So, pink millie win. I called it pink millie, but we meant pink and green. And that means that we now have the fifth one. What else was on your list, by the way?
Sunset Monty's nice. I think it's just a standard nice one. I put Fox Flame Acro. It's it's red with like a yellow tip on it, which is
that
nice
was on
one.
my list. Yeah.
I had Jack-o'-lantern because that's the list it should be on. To be fair, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I was still doing my list when when we have the chat beforehand.
Yeah.
So Alex tells me a week in advance what we're going to do, and he says, "Look, you need 15 corals. Yeah, make sure it gets done." So I didn't realize that I had stopped my my SPS list at 6:30, and I had 7 things on it.
Yeah, I had 9 on my list, but I stopped because I just couldn't be bothered to keep going. But what else was on your list that we haven't talked about?
No, so I think we've basically covered all of them. Like, because the Fox Flame, yeah.
Oh, I see. There's a couple others on mine. The definitive top 5 then are SPS are Strawberry Shortcake, Milka Stylo, Walt Disney Tenuous, Grafted Monty, and a pink and green millie. Sorry. The other ones that were on my list were Aussie Hystrix, like it's different. It's green, but it's like a Seriatopora caliendrum.
Oh yeah, I know which one you're talking about. Yeah,
so nice. Pink Hystrix, bog standard stuff. Yeah. Spiky, looks quite nice. Doesn't
they're
glow,
nice
but looks
under white light. They're nice.
Exactly. Yeah. Blue lights, forget it.
Isn't that interesting? How like some of the beginner SPS under white light looks much better than it does under blue. I wonder if there's a correlation with that.
Hardiness and fluorescence.
I'm serious because
Monties are pretty hardy and they glow.
I know, but I would say the hardiest Monty would be probably that red Montipora, like plating Montipora, doesn't fluoresce. Stylo doesn't fluoresce, like the purple Stylo.
Okay. Okay.
This is something that's just coming to my head now. So, but I wonder if there is if there's any correlation between it.
Maybe. Fox Flame was the other one on my list as well. It was the last one on my list, which is a nice card. I had one of them. I had a frag of them from Signature Frags. It was quite expensive, but it was worth it. I had to give it up when I shut my tank down.
You almost pulled it back. I don't know if you know, as in the score. Do you know?
No. What? Tell me.
So it ended up being 9-6 in the end, like to me. But at one point it was
9-6. Yeah, 15. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But at one point it was like not for, the SPS round. You started to win them all, and I was like, wait a minute. So that's obviously your area of expertise.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, I like them. It says Monty Satosa. Oh, Red Planet's a good show, actually.
Yes.
Maggie Toy. I looked at them like, it's a bit boring.
I actually thought of that, but didn't write it down because I didn't know how to spell it.
Barney Green Slimer is nice, but it's just bright green.
Yeah.
There's loads. There's millions. There's trouble. You could do a top 1,000 acros, let alone SBS. So but we've got over 2 hours. There's no news, and that's it. Do you have a Prestige Reef Fish of the week?
No.
All right.
No.
Well,
it's hard not getting these corals.
we're going to end it there because we've gone on slightly longer than I thought we would have done. Thank you ever so much for joining, guys, and we will see you next week.
See you later.